On behalf of UMV, a global initiative to make the world a universal mindful village, my name is Ranga Jayawardena, and today I'm joined by a panel of some of the most respected figures in the modern age of spiritual practice. Bhante Gunaratane, Bhante Dhammajiva, and Bhante Pannakara join us from across the country. Bhante Gunaratane, or Bhante G as he's known, is the founding abbot of Bhavana Society, as well as the best-selling author of Mindfulness in Plain English, which is a book that introduced millions, including myself, to the art of mindfulness. He has spent 8 decades, again, 8 decades, bringing mindfulness to the forefront of human thought. Bhante Dhammajiva is the abbot of Nisarnavaniya Forest Monastery in Sri Lanka, as well as the founder of UMV, or Universal Mindful Village, a project that is bringing mindfulness in a secular manner across the boundaries of nations, religions, institutions, and cultures. He also founded Satipasala, or Mindful School, which is a project that, believe it or not, has established mindfulness as part of the core weekly school curriculum in Sri Lanka. 4.5 million children, representing 20% of the country's population, have been and continue to be trained in mindfulness. And Bhante Pannakara is the deputy abbot of Huang Dao Vipassana Bhavana Center in Fort Worth, Texas. And by pure happenstance, we happened to meet his master, Bhante Ratanagana, at Bhavana Society this week, and he commented that Bhante Pannakara may be the most famous monk on the planet right now. Bhante Pannakara is, of course, known for the Walk for Peace, a 2,300-mile-long barefoot journey across the country from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C., in which she's inspired the whole world and united us under the banners of world peace and mindfulness. His ongoing Dhammacharya project is constructing 840 marble stupas inscribed with the Buddha's teachings and bringing them to a 14-acre plot of land in Texas. So with that, I'd like to welcome our esteemed guests. And this is meant to be conversational, informal, a dialogue to see if we can bring our traditions together and work together. And with that, I'd like to welcome Bhante Dhammajiva to say a few words on why we are gathered here today.
Okay, thank you, Ranga. I am the most inspired person from Venerable Pannakara's peace work, even though we have not met each other. So when Venerable was in Sri Lanka, I was about to leave Sri Lanka, so I had no chance to meet. But when I come to USA, I tried my best to have a dialogue with Venerable Pannakara. And I seek helps from Bhante Gunaratane, Bhante G, and invariably when Sadhajiva was mediating, and with number of dialogue discussions, emails, and phone calls, we some or the other arrived at the present moment. And one thing is the admiration of Venerable Pannakara's work. And I know beforehand, Bhante G started this journey. Verily, Bhante G mentioned that when he is ending the journey, Venerable Pannakara and others will start carrying it forward. So I am in between. So yesterday, we managed to get Bhikkhu Bodhi, and whereby he mentioned how can I join peace work, because I am 81 years old. Bhante G is 98 years old. So therefore, what is the purpose of having this kind of a meeting and the forum? So we had about around 30 minutes of discussion on Zoom. Then I told Bhante, and he was basically insisting or highlighting, he also had some kind of walks, not basically the peace walk, and he wanted to see how can we help people with hunger or freedom from hunger campaign, and he has already done 2-3 walks. So basically he highlighted it's not only for the monks, it's both lay and ordained, and at the end of the walk, maybe 2 hours talk, walk, whatever may be the place, and have a Dhamma talk and give a lunch. So that vibration and Venerable Pannakara's peace walk is two different things, because when Venerable Pannakara is taking the peace walk, it is almost like walking meditation, silence walk. Then I tried to tell Bhante Bhikkhu Bodhi, no, Bhante, we are opening the forum, we are opening the background so that good ideas like young monks, ideas came from young monks like Venerable Pannakara, there may be a wider scope so that we can, based upon this stage, go ahead with Bhikkhu Bodhi's idea. And I have something to suggest like mindful schools and universal mindful village. And Venerable Pannakara also may have some more projects, as Bhante G mentioned last time. So Bhante G was wholeheartedly helping and facilitating so that new ideas may come. So within the 1 hour time today, I hope after we started this background, we can proceed together with other organizations. They have already started somewhat, but my basic idea was every success of our projects are mainly due to mindfulness. So therefore, with that background, we can come. The idea is to take it into a more international level. So before just coming from Sri Lanka, I had a forum from United Nations, Mindfulness for Well-being, and organized by the Nepalese embassy. So I gave 20 minutes talk and few guided meditation session. And later he paid a visit to our monastery in Nisaranawane, and I was asking him, can we make a kind of a background at the uh, ambassador's level and make a sound or make a voice regarding the peace when the rest of the world is talking about the Third World War. And he was highly taken it up, and he promised that he can take responsibility about the Indonesia, Burma, Thailand, Sri Lanka, that kind of countries. And I think first preliminary discussion happened in my absence. So I would like to give it to present it to Venerable Pannakara. Is there any such initiative or possibilities to go ahead and give this idea based upon mindfulness and go ahead and do something about this Third World War? If I am to add more, I would say we will be doing, maybe passive, some kind of a contribution to the global warming and pollution. And I see mindfulness is the source. So with that, I would like to sum up my remarks. I cordially invite Bhante G to give his mature ideas specifically to Venerable Pannakara and of course to me, what must be our future program. Bhante, please.
Okay, I like to suggest that we follow the spiritual path which is lacking in the world. More and more people are dragged into the material success, ignoring the spirituality. Material success is not going to bring peace. It can increase our greed, hatred and delusion. In order to balance that, we want to have peace. In order to have peace, we must practice the true Dhamma, which includes a mindfulness practice. Mindfulness practice, I believe, is overall universal panacea. Everybody needs mindfulness, whether they are politicians, economists, philosophers, psychologists, doctors, teachers, no matter what. In order to make their life peaceful and happy, they must practice mindfulness. It is the mindfulness that reduces the quarrels, fights between parents and children, among children, husband and wife, neighbors and neighbors, and so on, the countries and countries. We can extend this practice to the whole universe. And there is the way to reduce, as we understand, the conflicts, human conflicts. Friends, animals fight for food. Animal fights for sensual pleasures. And we don't want to fall into that category. We are human beings. We want to respect everybody, humans, animals, divine, and so on. The basis of this respect is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is such a powerful state. It not only brings peace and harmony to the world, it also brings happiness to oneself, heal all the wounds. We don't want to wound people through words, thoughts, and deeds. We want to heal them. We want to heal them with the practice of mindfulness. When I know that if somebody says something to hurt me, I feel hurt. And then I don't want to do the same thing to others. That is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness practice is the difference between Buddhism and other world religions. Other religions have various types of meditation, like concentration. But Buddhism stands out as a separate universal religion because of the practice of mindfulness. Long before the Buddha came into existence, there were meditators. They had attained jhanas. They even were born in Brahma realms. And then they came back to this world again and continue the existence in samsara, continue the suffering. When the Buddha came into existence, the Buddha found a way to get rid of the samsaric suffering. That comes from mindfulness practice. That is why Buddha included that in the seventh step of the Noble Eightfold Path. The heart of Buddha's teaching is the Noble Eightfold Path. In it, mindfulness is heavily emphasized. Without mindfulness, you cannot get rid of your suffering. Without mindfulness, you can gain even concentration. Then concentration and mindfulness go hand in hand. And therefore, all those who are practicing concentration meditation gradually began to turn towards Buddha's teaching, meditation on mindfulness. Even today, many people in the world turn to Buddhism through the practice of mindfulness meditation. We are not going out to convert people to Buddhism. They convert themselves through the practice of mindfulness. And sometimes it is not very simple thing. It is very silent practice. Focusing mind on oneself, seeing one's own aggregates, form, feeling, perception, and thought and consciousness. Mindfulness meditator can see them constantly in a state of flux. Body is changing, feelings are changing, perception is changing, thoughts are changing, consciousness is changing, and seeing this changing nature of himself or herself, one would not cling to them. He will let them go. And that is the practice of mindfulness. Concentration doesn't do that. Concentration just simply make you peaceful now. That is called, Buddha called it Ditta Dhamma Sukha Vihara, happy living in this life. Mindfulness is the way to get out of this Ditta Dhamma Sukha Vihara, attain supreme enlightenment, stream entry, and so on. And therefore, we have to heavily emphasize the spiritual path, not the material path. There are millions of people who emphasize, promote, and talk, write, and do all sorts of things to promote materialism, material things, and their lopsided development. We practice mindfulness to balance this, and those who are successful in material things are still suffering. They have a lot of mental problems. When we practice mindfulness, we can help all these people. Therefore, my proposal is to emphasize. We are not actually emphasizing enough to make so great impact on people's minds in the world. Therefore, we all, in our own way, try to teach how to practice mindfulness. And therefore, our mission is a very lofty mission, great mission, and we must commit to this practice ourselves and set an example to others to practice, and then we can see one by one people learn to see the benefit of mindfulness, vipassana meditation. I think with this opening statement, I like to hear what Venerable Pannakara is going to say.
Sadhu.
Respected venerable sirs. First of all, I would like to pay respect and gratitude towards the great teachers that given me a chance to be here in this forum today. Sitting in front of both of you, and I think we miss Bhikkhu Bodhi and all the great teachers that I have learned from, and I'm the baby monk here in this forum. And of course, all the teachings that both venerable sirs already share about the mindfulness, and I am in the role of a student, just wanted to listen and learn more from both of you. but I would like also to share something about mindfulness that I learned during the walk piece through the walking and encounter with so many people. And so for me, the walk piece, I mean the mindfulness practicing for me, I have practiced under the guidance of my teachers and the most venerable Kimjil Kipapanyo. And I also went to Myanmar for 2 years to practice under the guidance of Pa G. And during the work at the temple, I also practiced to be mindful. It's for a while that it's difficult for me at the beginning, of course. It's always challenging. But and then day by day, I practice trying to be mindful with it until the time when I seen a lot of sufferings around me. And then I took on that journey of walk for peace. And then during that walk for peace, and at the beginning, I make a determination to myself that to be mindful on each and every step is going to be tough because we also endure in like weather, hardship, and all those things along the way. But then I was fortunate and grateful that I'd be able to focus and concentrate on my footstep from the beginning to the end. And of course, during that time, we also encounter problems and difficulties too. And I practice mindfulness just like that, just focus on my breathing, while I walk. And then during the walk, when people greeting us, and I just switch my mindfulness from the breathing, from my nose, my breathing, and then I switch it towards the people and communicate with them. And then when we pass through that, then I will go back to my breathing method again. So I just focus on my breathing the whole time, most of the time. And then when come to the time when my feet hurt so bad and my body also hurts so bad, and then I also trying to contemplate it, on those feeling and those sensations, and keep going, moving forward just like that. But sometimes the pain is gradually increasing each and every day to some point that the mind is asking, okay, you need to take a break, you need to take a rest, and so on and so on. And then I reflect and I remember that my determination right at the beginning, I say that even if I have to sacrifice my life, even if I have to die, I still have to walk. I will not stop. I will not stop. And for mindfulness to me is very meaningful. And I think that is the way that I can define that mindfulness for me. And that is the way I always shared it to the community, shared it to the people along the walk, that I just show them that just be mindful on your your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And then just focus on everything that they are doing, one thing at a time, because I think that in this Western world, and now that all those countries around where whichever one that is developing and booming on technologies and things like that is increasing, then I can see that people tends to be more like multitasking themselves. And the more they multitasking themselves, the more they cannot stay focused, because their mind is always just like back and forth, just like a monkey that I always shared. And so I encourage them to come back within and just slow down, just be mindful on their breath, be mindful on every little thing they do, just one thing at a time. Just like the message that I told them to repeat every day. Today is going to be my peaceful day, and just be mindful with it. So that is the way that I share mindfulness technique that I came up with. And I'm not sure with your knowledge and your wisdom, Venerable Sirs, that with what I just shared, I hope that those are okay to share with the audience and to guide people how to practice mindfulness. So I also wanted to learn from the most venerables about the way that I teach the people as well.
After listening to Venerable you, I have 3 remarks. One thing is, would like to listen from you away from USA. Your trip in Sri Lanka, Canada, and I hope you are going to do more in India and kind of thing. What was the diversification of your mindfulness? The one question or one remark. The second thing is your statement is very clear-cut. It's more emphasizing mindfulness than peace walk. I'm happiest. And once you finished the Sri Lankan mission, our president made statements. I have worked with 4 governments. The first time I heard the leader of the government is telling exactly what the Bhante is telling, mindfulness is the panacea. So I was so happy, so that I wanted to pay my respect and admire Venerable Pannakara. So I may suggest that we have started Universal Mindfulness Village, and we are working towards a mindful nation. And for my measurement, we are very successful. So I would like to present this as a suggestion to this forum. We'll go ahead, considering the whole world as one village, and wherever you go, you must have some mindful space and mindful garden to sit and do little walking meditation, and through that promote spiritual tourism and spiritual pilgrims. And I suggested once in Sri Lanka, consider Sri Lanka as an island, as a country, a mindful village. So I need your support. And you may expand it further. So therefore, these are the 3 remarks I have, carefully following after your talk.
Thank you, Bhante.
One more. That I had privilege to practice in Panditarama with Venerable Keeper Panyo.
Oh,
and at that time, Veerapanyo, Samanera, few Samaneras and others were there. But you may be in the 2nd or 3rd generation of that. So that is also kind of a relationship we have. I am happy to mention.
Yes, I'm the 3rd generation because my teacher is also very close to Most Venerable Kipa Panyo. And I'm more like a 3rd generation Venerable Sir. And during the walk in United States, the walk in Sri Lanka, these are the 2 main walk that I recently took, especially in America, that we spread that message of peace, of compassion, loving kindness, and especially mindfulness technique to the people. And then we are grateful and fortunate enough to have the support of the president, the prime minister, and all the government official and the Mahasangha, plus all the people in Sri Lanka, which is a very beautiful country and beautiful people, who came out and support the mission strongly, even though they stay in under the heat for hours just to wait to pay respect to the Walk for Peace monks, and then offer the flowers and water and things like that. And that is when I also mentioned that if everybody are practicing mindfulness, and when you are coming out here to wait for the monks, also applying the mindfulness technique while waiting and while seeing the monk, while paying respect and while offering to the monks, that is also a must. That will be more powerful, and that will be more benefits to them. And of course, the student nowadays, they also need to apply mindfulness technique, which I already brought that up to the government authorities, the president, that if the school system can apply mindfulness class into the system, because the future, they are future generation. They are the one who will be running the country, and if they are mindful enough, they will make the country be better place for all beings to live in that nation. And so and also when I went to Canada recently, Canada is not a walk, it's just to participate in the Vesak event. And now I believe that a lot of places that invited me to go to participate in Vesak event and things like that, and also to deliver the talk, the speech. This is the time when I also have to apply and practice mindfulness a lot, because we will face a lot of challenges. We'll face a lot of people and a lot of criticism from the people, because let's say when we do the walk, we just focus on the walk, and that's all we do, just focus on the walk, mindful on the walk, mindful when giving the speeches to the audience, to the participants. But then now we're not walking anymore. We are just participating in the peace gathering, the Vesak event, trying to spread the message in a different ways. And people are looking after it, because so many people now, I have to say that we have millions of followers and supporters. And they love to follow our footsteps every single day. They are curious, their curiosity of knowing what the monks are doing, what message that they can share every single day. And they also eager to have the retreat online as well. And so everywhere I go now, the media teams always trying to capture those footage to share to the followers and the one who always wanted to listen. But on another side, on a different side, there are people doesn't like that way. It's more, they say that it's more like commercialized now. It's not walk for peace anymore and things like that. So all these negative and positive, I also reflect and also have to be mindful with everything that we do. And so I learned a lot about mindfulness through these days after the walk as well, Venerable Sir.
Very happy, very happy.
So, Bhante Pannakara, when you hear these two elders sort of expressing how you inspired them and an interest in passing the torch, so to speak, on making the whole world a mindfulness village, what are your thoughts on working together and bridging these traditions together?
Well, Venerable Sirs, as I stated at the beginning, I am just the baby monk, and I'm trying my best to learn and practice and work at the same time, spread the peace message as much as possible, as broad as possible. That is what I have been doing, and of course, right now, as you already mentioned earlier, that I have the mega projects, which is the Dhammajiva project. And my time, to be honest with Venerable Sirs, that my time is very limited, and every night I get to sleep about 2-3 hours every night. And during the like events and any type tipitaka chanting and things like that, I barely sleep, and a lot of things that keep me up and trying to do a lot more things. And for the walk now, a lot of people request to have more walk as well, but I can't do it because I have more duties to take care on this Dhammajiva project that I want to start next year, 2027. But I'm just the junior that is learning more. And of course, if any way that I could help within my ability, and of course, I'm very grateful and happy to participate.
Venerable, that your statement indicated is the repercussions you get or problems you got it. So when I was with Bhante G, when we are having a Sinhalese discussion, I mentioned Bhante G had decades of experience as a temple monk in Sri Lanka, and coming up to the America and having that kind of a career, he would have a lot of experiences in the problem, friction happening throughout. And gradually, some or the other, he came up to the point, the peak, the mindfulness in plain English. And then onward, we all, second generation, we started to follow him. Now, he made a statement when you paid a visit to his place, Bhavana Society, you may start the journey from the point where Bhante G is ending. I doubt he will not ending may a few years. He may be. Bhante, any idea about that, towards that trend?
Yes, actually, we have been practicing for almost 70 years, more than 70 years, and encountered a lot of problems. At the same time, there are so many cases that make me very, very happy, satisfied, because I have received letters, telephone calls, then messages from many thousands of people saying that Bhante Ji, you changed my life. Some people say you make me alive again. I was almost going to die. My life is so painful. I had a lot of problems. You changed my life. And therefore, people, I, without a penny in my hand, travel all over the world at people's invitations to give Dhamma talks and lead meditation retreats. And they once, one place I gave a retreat, the word spread around, and other people also invite me to give retreats, and so forth and so on. From country to country, place to place, I travel with this message of mindfulness. And people actually begin to taste the benefit, taste the taste of mindfulness meditation. Young, old. Sometimes very old people come to our retreats. Some people, young people, sometimes young people. All of them have tried everything, psychology, Western medicine, and so forth, to get some solace and comfort in their life. And when they started this mindfulness practice, they began to see the different benefit, wholesome, and their life becomes healthy. And they actually express their peace. I remember some people coming here to Bhavana Society and then return and write letters. They had some family problems, not agreeing with their spouses, parents, children, and so forth. When they return, they continue to practice meditation, and gradually they manage to live in harmony, in peace. So this benefit is so tangible, not just theoretical. It is very practical. It goes to heart, into their heart, and then they express this word around, and others also benefit. I received, I used to correspond with prisoners, and the prisoners, sometimes they come after they are released from prisons, they come here and bow down to me and said while they were in the prison, uh, during our correspondence, they learned meditation. It is just like teaching meditation to prison. I don't go there, but from here, when they have problems, I write to them and tell them how to practice mindfulness. And then when they release from the jails, they continue to be normal citizens without committing crimes, without getting into drugs, without drinking alcohol, and without going into gambling. People do all these things to get some satisfaction, to relieve their pain. But they have their own side effects. This meditation, mindfulness meditation, never has any side effect. All the side effects you have are beneficial side effects. And you always are happy that you practice it. And therefore, from my own personal experience of more than 70, maybe 70, at the age of 20, I started practicing. Now I'm 98. During that time, I have seen the benefit and I share this benefit with others. And as I mentioned to many people, sometimes very little children learn meditation, and when they grow up, they teach meditation to their own children. Mindfulness meditation they practice at a very young days, and then when they grow up, they marry, they grow up with mindfulness meditation, and then after marriage, they practice mindfulness meditation, and when they have children, they teach their children meditation. So this inherits from parent to children, children to their children. And therefore, this is a very wonderful, because there is no gimmick, no gimmick. It is not just a faith. It is just a practical experience. When you practice, when you know by yourself, for yourself, then you will be delighted to give it to your children. That is why they do. If you have a good friend, this is what you give to the good friend. And that good friend will be more friendly with you, that you will become that person's Kalyana Mitra. And that person will become your Kalyana Mitra. And it will spread gradually from person to person. And therefore, from my experience, I have seen this benefit from myself. Without any hesitation, any reservation, I like to talk about it. I like to preserve it through the practice and through the teaching. Therefore, I like to continue this. I may live for another few years or perhaps a couple of years or much less than that. During that time, until I breathe my last breath, I will continue to do that because I benefited, and from my own experience, I can tell people, as the Buddha said, Attanamevam patamam, Attanamevam patamam patirupe nivese, Atanya manusase neglisaya pandito. First I practice and then teach, so that people not be unhappy, because I am telling them from my personal experience. And I like to share this with everybody, and I hope we all do the same thing.
So
Okay.
Venerable Pannakara was a baby, but it's a good quality for mindfulness to have the beginner's mind. And by observing you, we can see you have these all qualities. I myself started this mindful school 10 years back, and we were still keep on continuing. But your single visit to Sri Lanka, it make a big opening as a nation towards mindfulness. So I would like to little diversify our discussion. Your trip to Sri Lanka and these things were highly instrumental by Venerable Saddhajiva. And myself and Bhante's relationship, my relationship with the Bhavana Society. So he was very happily participating, and he is trying his best, being his mother country, to make it more wider in the diversification. I hope Venerable Saddhajiva can tell something to the forum.
Is he here around?
He may not be there, Bhante.
So usually he is skipping. So same thing I would like to suggest Venerable Pannakara also. You are a very, very busy baby. So therefore you have to have an assistant, and then we can have relationship, or Ranga and other people can have relationship. So our dialogue on principles can proceed. Any remarks from Venerable Pannakara?
Yes, thank you, Bhante. I listened into Bhante G's teachings, and I mean, I can feel that, and I know that during the walk and almost towards after the walk, there are so many people reported to me that the mindfulness book that has been selling on Amazon is now sold out. Tells me that the mindfulness technique now that so many people out there are searching for. The impact of mindfulness now to the United States and around the world, I think is very impactful. And people are eager to seek for that and practice that, because I truly believe that they had enough of suffering. They had suffered deeply for so long already. And for that reason, whenever we have that walk, during that walk, so many people, they disregard about the weather. Even though it's freezing weather, they still could go out there and stand for hours waiting for the monks to pass by just for a couple of seconds or a minute or two, and then they go home. That tells me. And then they also kneel down and bow to the monk and then cry so much, is because, and those moments I can feel that they have enough of suffering because of religious, because of family, because of politics, because of so many things, and they get trapped in it, and they don't know how to get out. They don't know how to overcome that, to stand up again and walk again. And for that reason, there were so many people also committed to suicidal as well. But then when seeing the walk for peace and listening to the message, they be able to stand up and walk again and let go of that mindset of suicidal. And so I truly believe mindfulness nowadays and moving forward onward, I truly believe this is something that people are looking towards and then learning and practice. Therefore, with the teachings of Bhante G and Most Venerable Sir, and then all the great teachers who always taught mindfulness, would bring a big difference to the nation and to the world. And I am also trying to do that, tip in a little bit of my effort into this Buddha Sasana as well, trying to share as much within my knowledge and understanding with the practicing, like Bhante G just mentioned. He shared it with all his own experience because he been practicing it for a long time. That's why he shared, and when he shared it is from his heart. And people feel it, people know and understand it. And when they have problem, he can solve it for them. And he also mentioned that in prison, he can teach meditation to the prisoners. And I happen to teach mindfulness in the prison as well. And during those times, I mean, I can see they really need help. Spending their time in the prison doing nothing and then fight and things like that, it's just gonna make it worse. But when they be able to utilize their time, their free time in the prison to practice mindfulness, that help them so much. And also to get them out of that prison sooner, because of their personality change, right? And the way of living change. So that's why they get out sooner. And so I also can see, I can see that the mindfulness is needed the most now than ever in our nations and our this world. So I, along with all the venerable sirs, and I would try my best to continue with this mission to support.
Ranga?
Thank you very much. So, as I understand it, well, first of all, I'll say if Bhante Pannakara is a baby monk, I'm just a baby. So
Not a baby.
not even a baby. As I understand this concept of universal mindful village, which is still really in its infancy, what Bhante Dhammajiva is trying to do, along with Bhante G's assistance and support, is to sort of open the boundaries between different traditions, religions, and in this case, between any boundaries of different monasteries within the Buddhist world. So he has taken one step in terms of inviting anyone to Nisarnavaniya, his forest monastery in Sri Lanka, which has several branches. Anyone who wishes to do spiritual tourism, practice mindfulness, can go there, receive accommodations and food, and stay for as long as they'd like. And beyond that, he's trying to have a spirit of sharing when it comes to media as well. So, for example, this conversation is, we welcome anyone who would like to use this footage in any manner that is helpful. So, as you can see, Bhante Pannakara, this is the sort of spirit here. Is we understand you're very busy, and we have a lot of respect for what you're doing with the Dhammacedia project. And so this is not to put any pressure, but more of a brainstorming. Do you have any ideas or any wish to collaborate between the monasteries? Thank you.
I can see that temple monasteries, we are working on our own. This happening everywhere now, right? We just building our own temple and then take care of that temple. But then for that reason, that is the reason why I conduct the international Tipitaka chanting. This is the second year already. The reason behind it is because I want all tradition to come together and all monks and nuns and lay devotees to have a chance to sit down together to recite the Buddha teaching and to practice the Buddha teachings and listening to the Dhamma talk, things like that. That was my vow, my dream, my goal, to bring everyone together, not just the waffle piece, but between the monastic with each other. We should be together and practice and share. And so collaborating between temples, between organized different monastery together with the peace and our temple. I don't see any I don't see any problem in it. But again, I also have my teacher. I also have my teachers, and of course, I always, whatever that I do, even this waffle piece, even this Dhammacedia projects, I also have to express my vow in front of him. And then if he say yes, then I move forward. If he say no, then I will stop. So with anything, any decision that I have to make, I also have to seek for his permission as well. Same thing as collaborating with Mindfulness Village. And I also have to present this to my teachers as well. And then based on what he teach me, I will move forward with that. But I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to be part of this.
we have no mercy.
Now,
But
now
even though
I
you are
have,
busy, you are chasing behind, because we wanted to have this open dialogue. And regarding your ideas about the different sects of Buddhism, specifically the American lay people, they say Buddhism meet Buddhism in America. Different sects are moving because it's a very good platform. So we have to make use it with the help of your peace walk. And one more idea, when I go to the prison and when we are practicing, they say they can't practice with closed eyes because they feel, they remember the crimes they have committed. So their monkey mind is very naughty. But when they are walking, they can feel two legs, how the pressure is changing from one to the other. They says, I came to the prison as a punishment, but as far as the mindful walking is concerned, it is like a blessing. So they were crying. So you have selected exactly the correct method. So therefore, as a beginner or beginner's mind, baby monk, we all people can die happily, because it will proceed. So I am too much in talking, so I will give it to the Ranga again.
And I believe Bhante G wanted to say a few words.
I like to, in conclusion, I like to ask Venerable Pannakara, you said you are doing Tipitaka chanting. Do you do it in Pali or in Vietnamese language?
It's in Pali, Bhante.
Pali, so how far you have done it now?
So basically what we have done is each country will select out the book from, let's say Sri Lankan will do the Sutta, and Burmese will do the Nikaya and things like that. So we still far away in finishing, Bhante Ji.
I see. So you have done almost
Yeah,
one
so it's
quarter of it?
about four books of each
I see.
Nikaya.
You do it all come to your place and do the chanting, or you
Yes,
expect
Bhante
them
Ji.
to, they come to your place
Yes, Bhante
and
Ji.
chant? How long they stay in your place and chant?
The first event last year was 10 days, and this year just recently passed 9 days.
9 days.
Yeah,
So
and next
each,
year will be also be 9 days as well for next year.
so you select monks from their countries, or countries select monks to send to your place?
Basically, at first I tried to invite as much as possible, but later I found difficulty, so that's why I handed over to the president and vice president of each country. Let's say Sri Lankan will be handled by Bhante Sati and Bhante Vimalakirti, trying to get all the monks together. And Thailand will be handled by the Sangha, the chief monk of the Sangha of Thailand, and things like that. So they just send us the list of participants, and then we will take care of the rest.
Okay, now so far Sri Lankan monks have come to recited, Thai
The
monks
first
come and
year, the first year, last year was 75 monks from Sri Lanka. The most venerable monks participated in last year. But this year, very few. This year is only like less than 10.
So you have any target of ending it?
We try to finish all the Tipitaka probably 3 more years, Bhante Ji.
Okay, I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you so much, Bhante Ji.
I think we can conclude this session now with I myself am very happy to participate in this discussion. I wish Bhikkhu Bodhi also were here, but anyway, he may be he may join in some other future discussions. With this, I'd like to thank you all for participating on Bhavana Society.
Thank you, Bhante G.
Sadhu,
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 sadhu, sadhu.
sadhu.
And if I may, I'd just like to say, Bhante, first of all, Bhante Pannakara, it's really nice to hear your spirit of openness between monasteries. And of course, we respect your master-disciple relationship with your teacher, who we had the chance to meet. Bhante G helped me remember his name because Bhante G's name is Bhante Gunaratane, and your teacher is Bhante Ratana Guna. And he was so bright, so impressive, and really gracious after a long journey to give us some time to speak. He mentioned that his master told him that the life of a monk is not a life of enjoyment, but a life of service. And it's clear to see that you have embodied that. And I would also just like to give you an opportunity, if you have a couple minutes, Bhante Pannakara, to tell us a bit about your Dhammajiva project, which I know Bhante G is serving as the spiritual advisor for.
Thank you so much. And 1 o'clock, I have another appointment. But the Dhammajiva project is the project to preserve 10 different scriptures, including Sinhala. So it will be a stone project, completely stone. And then all these, the engraving on stone is Pali, Romanized, and then English version. So that is international. But then all the countries, Tipitaka, will be in bronze books. So each country will have a set of bronze books, will be preserved inside the main jeti, the main stupa. The main stupa is about 175 feet tall and completely in stone, 840 stupa in stone. And this is my vow that I wanted to preserve the Buddha's Dhamma for many future generations to come, because I want them to understand and to learn the true Dhamma. And happen if we are still in the samsara for our next life, we still wanted to follow the true Dhamma and practice, right? And so I made that vow. And in front of the Mahasangha in 2022, when we announced it to the public, I also made a vow that if within this lifetime, if I'm lack of merits and I cannot finish this project in time, and I will wish to reborn again and again to continue building this project until I get it completed. And that is my vow, and I will stick with that vow, and hopefully I will have the blessing from the most venerable regard to this project. So that way I can get it done as soon as possible. There were so many people, especially the elders. Whenever they donate to this project, they always cry. It's because they say that they are grateful to have a chance to be part of this project, but at the same time, they are not sure that they'd be able to live until the day of completion. So for that reason, I wanted to do everything, trying to get it done as soon as possible for the benefits of all, of many.
I wish you, Bhante, I wish you, Venerable, in time to come happen some turning point into your life. So to have a wish to in this very life itself.
Sadhu, Bhante, sadhu.
Okay. Thank you.
Sadhu,
We
sadhu,
close
sadhu.
it now.
I pay
Thank
respect
you.
to Bhante.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you so much for your time, Bhantes.
Thank you.